Did the officiating overshadow the games?
To some degree, yes. And I want to defend the officials, including Jeff Triplett, whose crew I thought was incompetent. I'm going to defend them. There's too much on their plate.
Yes.
The game, they're thinking too much. And I know what Jeff Triplett's thinking on that Derek Johnson hit. I got to protect the quarterback, protect the quarterback. That's the most important thing. And so he blows his whistle inadvertently, trying to protect the quarterback. Then you go to the other sack fumble that he just blew the whistle too quick. The referees are overburdened. If you have that much to think about, there's no way you can do your job at a high level consistently. The game has to be simplified. Some of this burden has to be taken off the referees. They just have way too much on their plate.
I thought the officiating in this game was awful, but I didn't think it overshadowed the game because I think when the game was over, there were two clear storylines. Andy Reid blew a huge lead, and Marcus Mariota had his moment. He was unbelievable at the end of that game. And so the third story was, God, the officiating was bad.
Not if you're from Kansas City. Forward progress.
Yeah, that one was...
Forward progress.
You know what? If the NFL's a plane, and the manufacturers have made the cockpit too complicated for the pilots, and so you're having more problems and crashes. Yeah. Like, I do feel, to your point, I mean, I was watching that game, and I didn't understand, so I went to Twitter. I don't understand forward motion. Like, I didn't get it.
It's safety is now paramount in everyone's mind more than competition.
Yes.
The referees are there to protect the integrity of the competition. Now they're there to protect the safety of the players. Impossible job.
I agree with you 100%. I think that they've been asked to do a job that they shouldn't have to do. Even when you think about replays, you're placing the game-deciding moments in the ref's hands, not even on the field, in New York. So you're telling them, okay, you decide the game. But in this game, when you talk about forward progress and all these, yes, they're thinking about too much, and they're thinking about protecting players, and you got to play football. This game has been always played with competition, and we'll figure out the rest later. Now they're blowing the whistle early, they're making calls too soon, and it's changing the outcomes of games. I don't think that they overshadowed the game, but they're impacting the games in not the right way right now.
Yeah, well, obviously, being a Kansas City former player, and my heart was with them, I think they got hosed as far as I'm concerned. And you never know. If you miss a call like that, and I know Andy Reid blew the lead and all that stuff, but you never know what could happen after that. Once they get that ball back, they get it rolling. It's always woulda, coulda, shoulda. But I think this goes back to the bigger issue of the whole NFL as a whole, this big multi-billion-dollar business that every year, I always wondered, like, every year they come out with the new rules and new this, and they're changing this and they're changing that. I'm always like, why are you messing with it? Just keep it the way it is. It's popular. Why are you messing? I get making it a little bit safer, but you're right. It's just too much. It just if it ain't broke, why fix it? They're tweaking it too much. They got too many people on the payroll out there. Just get back to our game.
It's like comedy can't be too smart. If you have to explain the joke to me, it's not funny. I mean, at some point, a joke, you tell it, I get it, I laugh. Football now is we play, I ponder what's legal and not. Yeah. You're ruining the play. The game is too complicated, and we're sportscasters.
Because they hire all these people. They have all these people working there. It's their job to do that.
It's the media, though. To me, the media don't worry about the competition. Let's make football all about, is everybody safe? Do we do this in other sports? And we'll get to this later when we talk about camp. But in boxing and UFC, oh my God, he's been hit hard. Let's take him to the locker room and we'll continue the fight afterwards. Exactly. It's a combat sport. Mm-hmm. And again, you can't have Jeff Triplett and these officials out there, because again, they used to officiate the game and not be that worried about player safety. Take care of your own self. We got trainers to do that. Now we're telling you better, is he dizzy? Take him out of the game, ref. Make sure he doesn't get hit here. Make sure, again, they need to protect the integrity of the competition and let other people worry about safety.
All right, Whitlock, you okay? How the Panthers handle the injury?
1,000%, and I buy him. Gonzalez is over here giggling. He doesn't buy the story. I buy it. I think it was Cam's eye. I think when he was walking towards the sidelines, the trainer, the people on the sidelines, get down, get down. They wanted their quarterback to have time to warm up. It's common practice in the NFL. Look, and just at the end of the day, the concussion protocol rule is impractical. And everyone's, they didn't follow the protocol. They didn't follow the protocol. If I'm the Carolina Panthers, if I'm the NFL, I do not want Cam Newton walking into the locker room with 3 or 4 minutes to play and the game on the line. I want the competition to continue unless he's in some serious jeopardy, and I don't think he remotely was. And so we can talk about the rules and, oh, you got to take them. But again, just like I said earlier in the show, it's a combat sport. People can sit and watch boxing, UFC, and have no problem. Oh, God, are they safe? Are they going to have CTE? We don't even worry about it. We enjoy the competition. Football, combat sport. You're going to get your bell rung. Get over it. The players have. The fans don't really care. It's all this fake media outrage because they hate football and they hate football players. It's a damn combat sport. Cam's a big boy. He can handle it.
I thought it was an eye thing. I'm about 3 times a year, it's usually a receiver, that you'll watch a game and go, oh, get him off the field. And you can see it. It's obvious. Wes Welker for Denver.
Yeah. Tom Savage earlier this year.
Yeah, you're like, oh, get him out of there. With Cam, it was he kept blinking. First of all, when he was on the field, a guy's foot banged into his helmet and the shield moved in. So this never, to me, looked like one of those, oh, good Lord, get him out of here. You know how hard you got to hit Cam? I mean, he's a 6'6", 260-pound man. I felt it was an eye thing. That's what it looked like to me.
Yeah, I was totally fine with the way they handled it. Playoff game, they understand what was at stake. They know that Cam knows his body. And then, too, to your point, and I said this earlier on Undisputed, the trainers, when you have an injury and it's that quick and it's at this point in the game, we need time. We need personnel changes to take place. Give us a little bit of time. Get down. That gives us more time to make sure Derek Anderson can throw some balls, that we can get in his ear a little bit. It gives us more time that we can buy. If you just walk off the field, play has to resume right away, and so you don't have that same time. As far as concussion protocol goes, every player, just because they get hit in the head, it should not be entered into concussion protocol. I mean, if you walk off sometimes you get hit and you're not concussed, you just got hit.
Yeah.
And you need to gather yourself. I mean, every time I got hit, if I would have walked off the field shaking my head, you would have thought it was concussion protocol, but it's not. You just got to gather yourself for a minute and get back in the game. Yes, what he
That's
did.
a really good point. You get hit in football a lot. How many concussions you have?
Who knows?
Exactly.
Who knows? And I think that's the part of it. The reason I was laughing when I saw it, because he said he got poked in the eye and the guy hit him with his stomach. I just don't know how you get poked in the eye from a stomach. That's why I'm saying, and we'll never know, but I'm thinking he got his bell rung, and that's why he had to go sit down on the side before he could get there. Now, having said that, I agree with how they handled it. And if that was me, even if it was a concussion, even if it is a concussion, why? There is no way I'm coming out that game.
Nope.
There is no way.
Nope.
And this goes back to the NFL. They're trying to protect the players from themselves. And you damn right. If that was me, you better protect me from myself because I'm a competitor. We're in the playoffs. I've been playing all year for this. There's no way I'm coming out this game at this point. And this is what's going to happen for all players going. And I would tell my players, as a teammate, as a coach can't say this, but I'd be like, look, if you take a shot to the head, don't get up doing this, and don't get up doing this, because they're going to take you out of the game. You're not going to come back. I would fight everything in my power to look as straight as I can, go to the sideline, and then come right back in the game.
And that's what we're creating, more deceit because of the rules. Because if you get your bell rung and you show any signs of it, we've now set up a system where you got to be walked into the locker room and you're going to be away from the game and away from playing for an extended period. And so now we're basically putting the players in a position where they're going to be dishonest because they want to compete. Again, why can't we watch boxing and MMA and not sit there and go, oh my God, he's got his bell rung. They must stop the fight, carry him into the locker room, and bring him back. Are somehow football players more special human beings?
By the way, football players are wearing helmets and they're bigger.
Yes. Are they more special human beings, though, where they require an extra level of protection and there's more, their life is more valuable? So we don't worry about boxers, we don't worry about UFC, but football players, oh my God, they might have some problem. Well, yes, it goes along with playing a combat sport.
There's a certain code in football that you play through pain. And you play through injuries. In baseball, because there's so many games, you sprain a hand, it's like, dude, take 2 weeks off. Don't swing that. Golf the same way. There's another tournament. In football, the code is sort of, dude, everybody's hurt by week 3. Like, nobody on Tuesday in week 4 feels great. That's the code of football. The other code of football is Dude, late in games, you just play. You just
We need you.
play.
We got to have you.
And by the way, many of the great broadcasters in our business did that. And then there are speakers and they're communicators and they've been out of the game for 30 years. There are codes in the military. There are codes on Wall Street. There are codes in football.
And I know I'm not, and no one else here is saying we don't care about concussions and people's health.
Of course we do.
It's a combat sport, man.